Welcome back, everybody. What we're going to do is try to finish off our task manager today from where we left off in the previous video. And I've opened up the project, and you can see right off the bat that I've got a couple of red tabs at the top. And it looks like this one here, select task and delete task. And I would expect that they'd be red because I don't remember ever actually going in and writing those methods. So that is something we'll probably have to come back to today to clear that off. But you can see that my entire task component and all its files are all red. So even if I go up to the top and I look in my apps and I look at task and I open it up, you can see that they're all showing a problem. Okay, so let's get started into finishing this all off. And the first thing I want to do is go to my terminal, and I want to turn on my server first, and then I'm going to have to go and turn on my client. Okay, so I believe right off the bat I need to change my directories and then just do nodemon. So you can see here that this file directory is not valid. So I just did a cd ... to get into here. And something's funny with my computer right now. It's acting up again for the 10th time this week. And so I'm hoping to be able to just type in npm start. Okay, and hopefully this is going to tell me, okay, so I'm connected to my Mongo. That's good. That's something that I definitely was hoping to see. So now if I go into... is it localhost? I'm not sure which is going to give me my 3000. Doesn't look like that's the one. So I'm going to go back into here. See if it'll be this one. 3000. Okay, so I'm getting my JSON view in my localhost for tasks. Okay, and don't forget I've got this extension on there to see it in this particular view because it's in a parsed view right now, but I could go to raw, and I don't want raw. I want this one here. Okay, so I'm in my localhost 3000 with my tasks. And the second thing now is that I've got the server up and running. Now I want to go into my client mode and then basically turn that one on as well. And the way I'm going to do that is just type in cmd, go to the command line. I could navigate there. Let's see what I've got. No, that definitely didn't help me. I'll show you a shortcut to doing this. I'm going to go to where my file's located, grab this. I'm going to copy and paste that. Go to cmd. I'm going to right click on there and say run as administrator. Yes. And then I'm going to say CD and then put that link in there. Okay, and now the only thing I need to do is do client. Okay, so I've added client in there. You can see on the end. And now I can do npm start. I could have done ng start, or I could probably have even maybe done nodemon. So I've started that. Let's see what's going on. I could do ng serve. It's going through its process and it's turning on, and I've got an error, and I was worried about this error because I didn't write these tasks. Let's just give it a second. So you can see what's happening here is the fact that I've got all these errors, right? I've got this, what it's saying is that in my tasks.component.html, it's saying that select task does not exist on type task component. Okay, so there's the error on line 16. So when I go to that actual file, you can see that it's red. Both select task and delete task don't exist. Okay, because I haven't actually written those two methods yet. If you go down, that's going to cause problems for other types of other issues. And so when I go out and I try and look on localhost 4200, you see it says cannot get. Okay, so it's interesting because when I left off the last video, it actually was populating everything. I shut it down, I call it back up again, and it's got some problems. So I guess that's what we're going to work on today. What I've done for now is I've just commented this out. Okay, the 2 buttons until I write the tasks. And I went back and I closed it down and I navigated back to where I want to turn on the client. And I made sure that I was in my client folder. And then I just typed in ngserve. And you can see it says browser application bundle generation complete. It did all this stuff. And basically then from there, I just have to open up a localhost 4200. Okay, so I've got that open right now. You can see that the localhost 4200 is running. And then in the other case, I've got for my server, it's localhost 3000 and I've got tasks open. Okay, and there's one thing I want to try, and I don't think it's going to be successful, but you never know, is I'm going to turn off the tasks because I'm a little bit curious as to why it's chosen to turn off or to throw me an error when last time it actually was running. It doesn't really matter, and if I get an error, that's fine. It'll probably give me that get message again. It's not a big deal to me because we're going to work on those 2 methods anyway in this video. And probably add a table to see all the tasks. But if it doesn't work, that's fine. I'm just going to comment out those things again anyway, and then we'll continue on. So I'm just going to go back and comment those out for now because I was trying to see if it was going to make any sort of difference whatsoever. And all it did was just continue to process and do nothing. So I just commented it out and I stopped the refresh. It just kept going and going, didn't do anything. So that's okay. We're going to keep working on the other piece. Okay, so I was having an issue here and I'll show it to you really quickly. I had this in my task service.ts. I didn't have the forward slash. And so when I looked at my task manager, it wasn't pulling in any of my data. And so I was going through the code and wondering what was going on. And I realized I didn't actually have this slash in here, which makes all the difference in the world. So I'll hit save and I'm going to go back and you can see now that my data is actually now being populated onto my application. Okay, so I've got make a new tutorial, which is what I'm doing right now. And it's right there, priority 1, complete false. Priority 1, yeah, that's true. And it's not complete. So anyway, that's what's going on. I still have more work to do here. Okay, but just in case you missed it in the last video and I missed it, well, now you know. It was this little tiny task that needs to be pathed. Okay, so this is a result of our globals, which is down in the config and it's under globals. Okay, so this is what it's trying to path to. All right, so I think it's this one here on line 18. So you can see here globals.api root plus tasks. Okay, so, you know, this was the method we did previously for get tasks. All right, let's move on. So something that's a little bit interesting to me is I just out of curiosity, I went in and I uncommented these 2 lines, which were appearing previously, but they were causing this big error because I still haven't done the 2 other methods. But I just thought it was interesting that they're now showing up once I uncommented those. And I guess the reason being is that if I'm not calling in each of these lines, if I'm not pulling in the data, how can I be pulling in these 2 buttons as well? Okay, so in a way that kind of makes sense to me why I was getting this big error and it wasn't displaying. Another thing that changed was the fact that my lines are now going all the way across the entire screen. Okay, so you know, weird things happen with programming sometimes, and that's just one good example. Okay, so given the fact that I don't have those methods done, I still want to go in, and if you actually look at the site, I want to still have the ability to create a new task. Okay, so if I get out of there and I go back into here, at the top, what I'm going to do right above my table, give myself some space. What I'm going to do is create normally it'd be a form, but in actuality, this one's going to be a form group. So it'll be a little bit different. So what we're going to do is a section, or not a selection, section. Okay, I'm going to do a section. Okay, and in that section, let's go with a field set. And we'll say class equals, and we'll say form group. Okay, this will be a form group. Okay, close this off. Okay, and then we'll do label class. Oh, sorry, that I forgot my tags. So label class and we're gonna say control. I was hoping it was gonna pop up. Control dot is a custom label. Control label. I just want control label. So control label, and we'll say column dash MD2 is what I'm going to go for, a 2. And I'll close this out after my quotation, and I'm going to say name colon with a space, and we'll put a little star in there. Okay, so that's that line there. And below that, I'm going to do an input. Okay, so it'd be an input name equals brackets name. And then on the other side of those, I'm going to say ID equals name ID equals name. And then right after that, we'll say required. I don't need that stuff there. Required. So let me take this out of there. So it'll be required. And in this particular case, we're going to say ng model. Okay, so let's, this one here. Okay, so it needs the brackets. And inside the quotations, it's going to be, it should be name. Okay, and you can see that it's turned red. It's complaining about something. That's okay. So what I'm trying to do with this ng model is to bind the value to this name property here. Okay, but it's complaining. Let's see what's going on here. Create field name. Just give me a sec. Now, the reason being that we don't recognize that is if we look in our task component right here, okay, we don't actually specify name. Okay. So what I need to do is add this name colon, and that's a type of a string. Okay. And then we go back to where we were, and you see that it actually does go away. The name error goes away, but I've got this other thing that's on the go now. But before I fix that, I'm actually going to go back to here, and I'm going to add the other two items. So we'll say complete. Okay. And that one is a Boolean. And then finally, priority. If I spell it right, I hope. And that one there is a number. Okay. So I need this, if I hover over the ng model, you'll see this import forms module. So I actually need this Angular module included into the project. So if I do click on that, and then I go to apps modules, see if it's in here. Yeah, and it's right here. So it includes it, or it imports the forms module for Angular into the actual overall app module. So that's why it wasn't, I was getting that error right off the bat from that issue. So we've resolved it. We've just basically done an include or an import. It has actually also, before I forget, added it to the list of imports right here. So this is in our app modules. It added the forms module into the list of imports. So I'm actually going to copy this twice. So I'll keep my field set. So I'm going to copy, go below, and again, dump it in there and start doing some editing. So the second one here is going to be complete. Okay, and it won't be name, it's going to actually be complete. Okay, and same thing with the ID. Change that to complete. This is not required, but we're going to change this to type equals checkbox. Okay, and what else? And I got to change the other one, but before I do that, let's go up here and change this to complete. Okay, this one will be priority. And okay, so those are edited. And let's do a little bit of updating to our priority. So right after priority, we're going to say class class equals form control. I just want form control. I don't want the anything else. Okay, and then after that, it's going to be type equals, see if I can get a number. Okay, and we're going to set the maximum and the minimum. Actually, I should say the minimum and then the max. So the min will equal 1 and the max will equal 5. Okay, and then that's closed out. So we're good there. Now, each one of these is bound to a different ng model, name, complete, and this ng model is bound to priority. And then I'm going to need a couple of buttons. Okay, so I'm going to stay inside the section, but I'm going to go under this field set. Okay, and this one is going to be button. And it'll be class equals offset 2. So it'll be an offset 2. And then btn space btn primary is what I want. -p for primary. And then after that, it's going to be this. It'll be click equals, and we're going to say add task. All right, same issue as last time. I haven't created the method yet. So this will be a star ng. You can see it there, if. And then inside those brackets, it's going to be what do you call this? An asterisk underscore ID. Okay, and just outside those brackets, we're going to say save. Okay, and then the button will complete there. And let me copy that because the next one we're going to do is an update of the task. Okay, so I'm going to copy that and go right below. Okay, and instead of add task, we're going to call this one update task. And do I need to change? Yeah, everything else looks pretty much the same that I want to do there. Okay. And then right under this, I'm going to do one more button, and it's going to be button, and this will be class equals btn space btn success. That's what I want. Dash success. There it is. And on the other side, it'll be click. I like that this just gets picked up. And here we're going to say clear form in, but that's going to be a method that we'll have to create. And then right here, we're going to say reset. Okay, so that's what that button's going to look like. All right, I'm going to save that. So I'm going to, now that I've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this and I'm going to say create method add task. Okay, so I want to click on this. All right, and you can see now that we've gone to task.component.ts. Okay, and right down below our ng on init, it created, or it started the framework for us to go in and start drafting this add task method. Okay. Okay, so without actually doing anything yet in terms of writing those methods, you can see that the actual page itself is dramatically changed. Okay, and so we've got this issue up here. Notice I've got these two save buttons. I should probably get in there and fix those as well. But you know, let's just keep going. So now that I'm in the add tasks, I'm gonna just add this colon here. Okay, and I'm gonna type in void, and then I'm gonna get into the body of this this method. Okay, so I'll put a comment in there. Create new task object. Okay. And what I'm going to do, it's just going to be name colon this dot name. Okay, and next line is going to be complete. Should I do this? No, I don't want it that way. I want and then colon, and then I'll go with this. Is it in there? This dot, sorry. This dot complete is what I'm looking for. Okay. And then the last part, and sorry, that shouldn't be that should be a comma. Okay, this is more of a JSON type of a syntax we're looking at. And then the last one is going to be priority. I'm going to see what happens here. Okay, so that's not exactly what I want it to be. So I'm going to just copy this. Copy so I don't have to retype it. And do that. And then that should be it. Now there's something going on here in my syntax. I just got to figure it out. Sorry, I must have been sleeping or something like that. But it's it should be let new task equal, and then we get into a set of brackets. Okay, still not right. Okay, I've got to take that out of there. I don't even know how it got in there. Do a comma. Okay, and I've cleaned up the syntax for this one. Although I do believe I've got an extra. Let's see. Okay. I don't think it's so much an not enough. I just think it's an extra. And I've lost a bracket somewhere down below. I'm just going to put that in there for now. So really the issue is that I'm just not done the method. Okay, so I'm going to put in a comment. I'll call the server to add a task, which we'll call the server express API. Okay, then refresh the task list. So we've got to actually do the second piece of this method. And the way that's going to work is we're going to say this dot task service dot add add task. And we're gonna put this in here and say new task. Okay, which comes from that statement on 34, new task. And then it'll be dot subscribe. Is it in there? Subscribe. And we're subscribing. And in here it's going to be a response. Response. And of course our lambda. And we really should have another set of brackets in here. And then it's going to be a bunch of this dot get task. Do I see it in here? Get task. Okay, this dot clear form. Okay, and let me add that as a method. Clear form. And then on the next line here, it's going to be this dot show form equals false. Okay, so lots of errors in there, obviously. I got one too many of these. Let's tighten that up a little bit. Again. Okay, so I've got some errors in there. This add task here, okay? Okay, so I've got this issue with get tasks. It doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so if you consider what's kind of going on here, we're saying add tasks, we're doing all this stuff down here. And then we're saying, okay, let's call this service, put it in there, but then we have to start clearing out stuff like that. I'm not explaining this very well, so I'm hoping what'll happen is you just kind of watch, follow along, and then see what happens. Now, notice here I've got this get task already, but for some reason it's not picking it up, right? So right now, one thing I want to do is actually put this into, I want to put all this into its own, a separate method as well. So what I'm going to do is right now, I'm going to do a new method here, and I'm going to call this one get tasks. And it'll be a method, colon, it'll be void, okay, and brackets, right? And so within those brackets, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take all this code right here, and I am going to, I hope it'll let me do it, Alt and then Shift down. Nope, that didn't let me do that. So I'm going to take all of this here and I'm going to do a Control X and I'm going to plunk it all right in there. Okay, so I've now got a method called get task. Get tasks. Yeah. And now inside my on init, what I'll do is I will this dot get tasks. Okay, so I'm going to call it inside there. And I need to change this, I need to add an S down here on line 48 to get tasks, so it recognizes the one that I'm trying to call. So this error is actually existing, and it's actually a different add task than this one here. Okay, this one belongs to our service. This one does not. So if you notice that there's no arguments in here and we're passing a new argument. So this is a different add task here. Okay, so if I want to create a new method, I would say create method, and then it says it does not exist in task service. Okay. So we've written one in the component, we've written one in the service, and we need one in the API. So three of these, three methods for this. So what we're going to do is work on this add tasks. Okay, so if we look at our tasks services, you'll see we've got get tasks here. Okay, but we want add task. Okay, so we've got this one here in a bunch of different locations, but this one here is the one we want to have now, and I'm going to use the create method add task. Okay, so I'm going to click on that, and you can see now that it did that inside our task services. So let me add this comment in here right below where it was done. So we have the get above it, and now we got the post, and you can see that it is add task, and this new task parameter is put in there. But what I want to do is actually go in. I'm actually going to clean all that up and just pass that as a single argument in there, and it's going to stay as new task. But this is going to be return this dot HTTP from the task services, and it's going to be dot post, and inside there we're going to say globals dot API root. Okay, and then plus, and in single quotes we'll say tasks, and outside that we'll go with a comma, and this is now going to be new task, and finally HTTP options right there. Okay, and am I missing anything there? No, I think I'm good there. All right, and so that's the way that method call is going to be, or method is going to be created. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Okay, so the issue here is that we have this as a post, right? And so now I'm going to have to go all the way over to tasks and start working on that post. Okay, so that's another piece that we have to do here. So let's go to here, and underneath our get one, which was a get method, right? So we're going to do a post, and let's just go and we'll grab this. I'm just putting in all my comments. Okay, and so here we're going to do router. Before I do that, it should be post. There it is. Post, and then we got to do our path to it, and a comma, and a required, and a res. Okay, so we're in here, and this is a required res. Okay, and what's always next after this? You got it. There's this, and one of these. And so let's do task dot create, and inside of here I need to open that up because I want to know what I want to create. So it's going to be name colon, sorry, I don't know if that will, if I move it up, it might make that box disappear. So this is going to be required. So that's as if though I was looking for an email. Body dot name. Okay, and then we're going to do a comma, and we're going to say complete, and this will be required body complete, required dot body dot complete. Okay, and we're going to do a comma, and I hope you guessed that the next one was priority, colon, and this will be required dot body dot priority. Right down there. Okay, and then we're going to go after the bracket here, and I'm going to put a comma in here, and we're going to deal with our error handling a little bit. Error. Okay, and comma task. All right, and outside of that is going to be this, the lambda. And of course I need this bracket. You know, that's the one thing, I think I've mentioned it before. The bracketing in this particular language is really, really, really sucky. I don't know whether they're nice adjective to give it. So, oops, send, and an error. Okay, what's its status is going to be? The status will be, the code will be 400 again. So 400. Okay, am I doing this right? What am I missing? I'm actually missing a whole if statement. So maybe I fell asleep at the switch there a little bit. So before I get to this return, what I'm going to say is if error. Okay. Then I'll put these brackets in, and then let's move this return statement up here into there. Okay, and then we'll do else. Okay, else, what are we going to say? We're going to say res JSON, JSON. Okay, and that's going to be task, and it'll be a status of 201. Okay. And then I should have, okay, so those brackets should be balanced out. So the basic idea here is that in our task we pass in all the values, and we either get it actually works or it doesn't work. Okay. So really that's what this whole method is about. Okay, so everything looks like it's working on there. This one looks like it's working properly. I don't see any real errors. I see this little warning here. I'm not going to concern myself with it right now at the moment. Okay. So really quickly, I want to go and look at my form. All right, we're all over the place here. But something that does kind of bother me a little bit is I don't have the box in here for priority. Okay, so what I want to do is go back in and maybe have a look and see what's going on. And we're down here in priority. So definitely what I think I'm going to do is take out this form control. See if that makes any difference whatsoever. I suspect it might have something to do with that. So I'm going to save that. Let's go back and see. Okay, so I've got that, and let's see. And it does the numbering. Okay, well, that's good. Let's just see if it'll let me do a test. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm not going to say it's complete. It's priority 5, save. I don't know if it'll save to the actual form or not. So far, not that one. Maybe it's this button. I don't know. Okay, so I don't see it doing any processing. That's okay. We're really not there yet anyway. We have more stuff that we have to do. So I'm getting some errors in here, and I've tried to test this out, right, where I'm trying to do this, but it is actually throwing an error. So one of the things I want to do right now is I'm actually going to take this whole section right out of here for a minute. I'm going to test that out, and I'm actually going to comment this out of here as well. I'm going to comment that out of there. Okay, and I haven't done the clear form yet, but I'm working on it. So let's go back and see if this actually changes anything with our task. So delete, I don't know. Let's see if this does anything. Okay, it's not picking it up. And if I go and I click on my inspect, I go to my console, you can see there's an issue in here. What's this say? Failed to load resource. The server responds with a status of 404 not found. So it looks like tasks 1. So it's interesting that that's what's going on, and it just tells me that I've got some more stuff I've got to figure out here. Okay, when you go in here and you read what's going on, you can kind of locate where some of the errors are. But let me try one more thing I want to try in my services, and I'm going to take that out of there. I don't know that this is going to help, but I suspect, and that's some of this is just trial and error, right? Console. Do I have any errors opening up? Let's just see. Delete test. Nah, I don't know. Save. Okay, so that's not the issue either. I've got this. There's a connection thing going on here, and put that back in there. Go back to my page. You know, it resets itself. Delete. do this, save, and you can see I still get that error, right? So it's not finding my page. So that's a little bit concerning that it's not able to find that localhost tasks to actually add or populate to my database. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'll right click on here and I'm going to create this method. Okay. So I've got a bunch of things I'm going to do. And I think one thing for sure right now is if you notice down here, I've got this show form equals false. For now, what I'm going to do is show form and put that semicolon in there and I'll false. Okay. So I'm actually going to just leave that like that for a minute. Okay. Don't need that semicolon there. I didn't expect that was going to go away, but I want to just leave that in there for a minute. And I'm going to change. Yeah, that's fine. So I've got some stuff that I do want to do. So if I've got my clear form, I'm going to make that into, change that there. It shouldn't be private. We're just going to say clear form. Okay. And then make this a void. Okay, make that void. And I'm just going to start filling it out and say this. Does it give me ID? This dot. Do I get ID? No. That's okay. Is going to equal to null. And then we're going to do this dot name is going to also equal null. Okay, and then we're going to do this dot complete. Okay, is going to equal null. Okay, so I'm just trying to clear the in the form here. I'm just trying to clear this after we've actually done something with it. That's all I'm trying to do with this method. So then the last one is this dot priority is also going to be equal to null. Okay, and then I can sort of close this one off. Okay, and I know I've got the issue with the ID. Okay, create field ID. Okay, and I'll get that to, let's see what this is. Task component. Create field ID. I'm going to come back to that because I want to finish this off. I also want to do a delete. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is my delete task and my select task. Okay, so when we look at the form and we've got these buttons here, I'm going to go ahead because I'm in this file already. I'm going to put this in here. Okay, so this is going to be just after this, and I'm going to say delete. Let me give myself some room. So this will be delete task. And we're going to do underscore ID. Okay, and that's going to be a string. Okay, and over here I'll do, this will be a void. Okay, and it's just a method. So we're going to say if confirm. And I say are you sure you want to delete this? Question mark. Okay, so that'll be the message that goes in there. And then we'll go down to the next line and we'll say this dot task service dot delete task. And of course, that's going to be a method with underscore ID. And it'll be subscribe. And response with our lambda. Okay, and a bracket. And in there, we're going to say this dot get tasks. Okay, and I've got all my brackets in order. Okay, and naturally I'm getting complained at right here because I actually don't have this. So I'm going to do this in the task services. So I'm going to go over to services, and under my add tasks, I'll put a comment in there, delete, where it's showing it. And the delete is actually, okay, that's fine the way it is. Okay, I don't even need to put the string part of this. So let me take that out. Okay, because I don't want it to interfere with anything else. So we're going to just say return this dot http dot delete. Okay, and inside there we're going to say is it showing up in here? Don't really think so. I'm going to just put it in. So this is going to be globals dot API root. Okay, and it'll be plus. Good. This is going to be tasks slash. It's going to be a / there, and then it'll be plus task dot underscore ID. Okay, comma task comma HTTP options. Okay, I'm going to leave that out. Like no semicolon or anything like that. So what's going on with this one? Okay, it cannot find the name task. Okay, that's okay. We're going to come back to that too. While I'm here, I'm going to actually put in the my update. Okay, I'm going to put in update. Okay, so that's got to go after this. So right down here, I'm going to put my update there. And how's that going to be? Okay, so what I think I will do is go back to here. Not there, sorry. Was it here? So if I go back to my task components.ts, you can see that we've done this one here. Okay, so the delete tasks. Okay, so what's next? Now the next one I'm going to do in here is going to be update task. Okay, so I want to do an update on this. Okay, so this one's a little bit more involved, but not too bad. Okay, and is there any way I can borrow from anything else? I think what I can do is take all of this one here. Okay, I can copy it all. Copy this, go below my my delete. Let me just check for a sec. Yeah, I can go below my delete and I can plunk that in here. Okay, and what I can do now is say update task. Oops. Update. So I'm in my update task. And what's going to be different about this one? Okay, so this is going to be let task. So I'm going to get rid of the new. Okay, let task and make that lowercase. Let task. Okay, I've got to add this one little line right here. And this is going to be underscore ID colon this dot underscore ID. Okay, and a comma. So we're going to leave that there for now. Now, the reason that underscore ID never gets recognized is because I actually forgot to put it in here. And this is going to be it's a string. Okay. And because it hasn't been put in there, it's causing me a lot of headaches in other places, right? So you can see that the ID issue has disappeared from a lot of different places. Okay, so I'm back in here. I'm gonna go and clean up this update task. Okay, so let task equal, yeah, that, and priority. Then I'll take this stuff out of here. Let me see what's going on. This task service, and this should say update. update task. And then instead of new task, this should say task, lowercase task actually. Okay. This is all the same. And then this dot get tasks, clear form. This dot show form equals false. Okay, I'm good there. One thing I'm going to add to the very bottom of this, right after that, is I'm just going to type in this display form. Okay, and this is just going to be this dot show form equals true. That's all. So let's just check this, capital F, leave that alone for a bit. Okay, because obviously you're seeing it still has a problem with this. Okay, so if we go to here and we right click on this, let's highlight that, right click on it, and I'm going to get this thing here, this update task, and it brings us over to here right underneath where our comment was. And now we can go and complete. And this one is going to be identical to the one above. So I'm going to take this whole, first I want to take this out of its parameter list. It should just be task. Okay, should be nothing in there. And below it, I can literally take this whole entire line, this one here, and put that inside there. Let me just check it really quickly. And this one is not going to be a delete. This one's actually going to be a put. Okay, so we'll make that change there. And for some reason, I'm getting this. I shouldn't actually have that there in this particular one. So I'm going to take that out and take out task. I don't need task in here either. Okay. That's an error. Anyway, I've fixed that. I'm going to go back to my task component HTML, and I'm going to uncomment this button now again. Take that comment out of there. I'm also going to take this stuff out of here and just kind of leave it as a save. Save that, and let's go see what's going on with this. All right, so not the greatest that it's both of them say save. And I'm almost sure that if I try and edit, see, I'm getting the error right now. That's okay, because I'm not ready for that yet. But I don't want to be doing the editing and the saving and all that kind of stuff yet. One thing that is good, even with this error, let's say I want to do make another video is false. If I hit the delete, are you sure you want to delete this? I'm sure. Okay. I didn't think it was actually going to delete it because I appear at this moment to be having an issue connecting into my database here. Okay. So even if I refresh that, nothing has changed. It's still persisting. Okay. So the last thing that we've done now, after those different ones, and I'll come back to the show form later, but we have to go, now that we've done the post, we have to go into our task.js, and we have to do two more things. We have to do delete, okay, and we have to do probably update. Yeah, and we're gonna say a put. Okay, which is in here, we'll say update. Okay, and give ourselves some space for that. So if we get into the delete, what this is going to be is router as usual. Router dot delete. And inside this, we're going to do, going to path it like this. And we're going to say _ID. Okay, and then on the other side of that, it'll be a comma, and of course our typical, it'll be this one here, REQ res with the lambda, and then down below, do I have too many? I might have too many brackets. I'll take it out just in case. I don't know yet. So this is going to be task dot remove. And inside this, we're going to do these brackets here, and it's going to be underscore ID. That's how we're going to identify what we're removing. And then require params dot underscore ID. Okay, and then outside of that bracket, do a comma, and we're going to put in our error. So error, comma, task, and outside that bracket, we're going to do this again as usual. Okay, so it'll be if error. Gets tiring typing this sequence of stuff. That's okay though. So then we're going to return res dot send error. I suppose I could copy and paste this, and then status is going to be 400 and else. Let's just do this. We're going to take this. Okay, and that's going to be our delete. All right, am I missing something? It's complaining about some sort of a bracket, so let me just go and check how many of these things I'm missing. Wasn't missing anything. In fact, I had an extra bracket here. Okay, so the next one I want to do is how much of this next one can I get away with editing? Okay, so I'm going to take the entire this entire thing here. I'm going to copy that as my update, and I'm going to do some editing in there. So right off the bat, it's not going to be delete, it's going to be put. Okay, so we make that change right away. Same ID. Our task here is going to be update. Okay. Update. And looks like so this whole block in here inside this brackets, this works okay. And what I want to do with this past the comma here is I'm going to put required dot body. Okay, and it should change that into that, and then we get into our error. Okay, and then we return res, and yeah, same thing. What's going on here? I got an error in here that it doesn't seem to care for. Probably just a bracket or something out of place. Right, I'm missing a comma right here. Okay, so everything's good with that one. Let's see what happens if we do a delete. We get an OK. It's fine that it's not actually doing this because I keep getting the same error, right? So if I go to my inspector and I go to the console, you see that I've got this issue here, right? Except open, let me see if it gives me any more detail. Client 52. Okay, you're good. Open that up. Okay, I think I might know. Okay, so one other thing I'm going to do is I've come back to my HTML down here, and I've got this select task. So I'll highlight that, and I'm going to create this method. Okay, and that's going to take us to our component.ts, and you can see select task is here. Okay, and let's work on this for a little bit. So I'll make the modifications to this one. And this is just going to be task in the in there, and it's going to be void. Okay, I'm almost tempted to just copy and paste this one here. I can take, let's see if there's one. Yeah, this one here. Is there any good ones I can take? I just want to copy and paste the whole thing. Maybe this one. I can do this. I'll take a couple of pieces of each and every one. Where is it? Okay, right here. Okay, and I'm gonna just add, I'll take this line right here, copy this, and I'm gonna put this in here first. So this show form is gonna equal true. Okay, I'll leave it like that. And then for all of these, I'm gonna say, I also need the ID. So I need this one here. I'm gonna copy that, put that in there. And for all of these now, I need, if I can get the arrows to go away, I need this dot. Okay, and then this dot. And I need to do that for each of these. And finally for priority. Okay, and now I'm going to change all these to say task. All right. And is it a colon? No, these are all equal. These should say equal. You'd almost think I would have just typed all this out. There. Okay, and I don't need the semicolons. I don't need the commas. I'm good. Okay, so that's what that select task is going to be like. Okay, and my formatting is ugly, but I don't care right now. Oh, there. Okay, so that's what the select task is going to be like. And so when I go back to my HTML, you can see that it actually goes away. And we passed in the task parameter. All right, and just like in delete task, we also passed in, where is it? Up top or down below? Delete task. Yeah, we passed in this. So I'm going to take that string out of there. I don't need it. Yeah, okay, I'll leave it in there. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't hurt anything. Okay. So that cleared up that error on there, and I've got the button back. If I go out here and I look at this, then I've got the edit button. Okay, so big problem of the day is that I'm still, for some reason, I'm just not connecting to my my data. Okay, I'm just not, for some reason, making that connection. And if I look at these errors, a lot of these errors, I'll be honest with you, they don't make a ton of sense to me. So if I go to some of these, like this one here, I think deserves that. And this one, take those out. So update and delete tasks. Let's see what happens. It's not going to do anything for me. I'm almost sure of it. Okay, I'm still getting that one. So it's saying that it can't find my, it's a 404 not found. It doesn't find my localhost tasks. Okay. Let's see if I can do this one, take a break, delete. Okay, again, it's not going to let me do that either. I'm getting this error, and I think that one has more to do with the way this is. Let's see. Okay, now I can't see it. That's a problem, obviously. Okay. I almost wonder if I can do this. See what happens. Okay, you see it. Let's try it. Okay, and it's not. It's still giving me the error about getting to that. So I'm having a real access problem to my local host. Okay. So ultimately, I have to say I'm not overly worried about this. I think it's just, to be honest, everybody, I've been having problems with my computer and my local host stuff all week long. So I don't necessarily think that it's the code as much as I think it's something going on with my computer, which sounds like a little bit of a cop-out, but it really is not. So one thing I've finally have done is gone in and actually pushed all of this to GitHub. Okay, and I think the repo is called Task Manager in Angular. So I've pushed all of this. And you can see the difference too here, right? With the colors all changed. They were desperately wanting to go out to the GitHub world and or into the GitHub ether and be connected, and they finally are. So the changes in the color. Okay, So one of the things I've had to do though is now to do that, I had to actually disconnect from the database. Now I'm back in connected to Mongo. And if I go back up here, let's see if I refresh, and I actually do refresh, and I'm in here, and I'm, you know, it's still not gonna let me. Oh, sorry, there it is. It actually finally updated, and it's pushing this delete test. You know, I had it to false and all that stuff. So is my edit functionality working? Not really. Do I care? No, I don't. And I'm going to see if I can delete this one and hit OK. And let's see what happens. Does it let me do the delete? It doesn't let me do the delete, but the good news is for me is that I actually know that I'm now connecting into my database. So that part, at least I'm happy about. So another thing I wanted to show you is that this fourth task that I was able to add, actually this delete test, that actually showed up and it worked fine in my Mongo. So that's a good thing. And I'm just going to look at the what's going on in here with this. Maybe that's what it is. Let's go in, have a look. It's something simple, and that's always the challenge. So it's not that there. I'm actually okay with this. This video has actually gotten a lot longer than I was hoping. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to encourage all of you, anyone watching, to go ahead and see if you can fix this final piece. Hopefully you can, hopefully you can't. Overall, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just kind of happy that I can do, let's say, make another video. I'll say give it a priority of 1. I'm actually going to say that it's complete. Okay, and add that, and you can see that make another video, priority 4, it's true. No, I can't do any editing to this per se. Let's say hit the reset, save, does nothing. I didn't do that. Let's see if I can delete that, and no, I'm not going to be able to delete that. That's okay. And again, when I go over to Mongo, you can see if my Mongo actually refreshed. Where's the refresh button? There it is. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Anyway, I'm not overly concerned about it. Like I'm going to be pretty happy if you can get to the point where you can just get this level of functionality with this. Okay, so for some of the people out there, my students are actually expecting to do this. If I'm happy with this, if you can just get it to add a task to the actual lab. Okay, and it doesn't have to have the save or the reset. I don't really care about any of that stuff. As long as you can add a task to it, I'm perfectly happy. And don't worry about the edit or the delete. If you can get to this point, you're good to go. If you can go beyond that, I'm even more happy. If you can get the delete function to work, it is somewhere inside of here. I don't know what the deal is. It could be something just as simple as, let me try this for a sec. Shut this down, yes, and then do a node mon, turn it back on. It can't be that simple. Okay, so now look, I lost all my data. So that clearly is not a good thing to happen. So let's put that back in there. Okay, and it came back when I added that. So there's something funny going on here, but I'm not overly worried about it. So like I said, if you can get to this point, I'm really, really happy. And in fact, you know what, to make it easier on all your lives, I am going to get rid of, what are the 2 buttons that I have in here that I don't want to see anymore? Save and reset. Okay, if I go into here, where are my buttons that say reset? Somebody point them out to me. Edit, delete, reset. Okay, this says reset because of the clear form. So reset, I'm going to leave. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, everybody. If you're watching, just go with this. I'm perfectly happy if you get to this point. Okay, so I'm actually going to leave the video there. I'm going to shut it off. I'm done with this project. It wasn't too bad. It was fast and furious. And it was just really meant to give you an overall understanding of how all this stuff was going. All right. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk soon. Thanks. Bye.